Okay, let me rephrase it. JJ and I got codes for. I'm going back further. AEW Fight Forever.
Yeah,
which is an arcade style wrestling game, definitely more arcade like than the WWE stuff, and it was fun. It was kind of bare bones, and I think that's why it hasn't held up because there really isn't a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They're
just added
releasing
Danhausen
content for
now.
it. Yeah, Danhausen now. They're releasing a lot of content for it, and they are advertising it every week and at every event. But they're because AEW is still sort of small, they're kind of building it up now.
And it's kind of cold. AEW is kind of cold right now, so
So one thing that's kind of missing right now is football games outside of Madden. EA and Madden have the monopoly on like the sim style football games. When you think of football games, you hear Madden, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
We used to have a ton of like simulation and arcade style games back in the late 90s, early 2000s. That all went by the wayside.
Yeah, you had 2K, you had Blitz, you had Street.
Yeah, it's Street. You had NCAA. Now the only place you could find alternatives is either on mobile or in like
you go to Steam.
Downloadable.
You go to Steam and you'll see like unbranded football games. Like it's like it is a football game and it's got a decent engine, but who cares?
So we got offered codes for an arcade style football game that came out today. Called Wild Card Football.
Yeah.
Great play on the name, and we'll get to that in a second.
And for people that don't know this, if this is something that they haven't heard of before, it is part of the Playgrounds franchise, which is the NBA Playgrounds. There's 2 of those, I think.
Yep, I've played both of them.
Yeah, they're great. I think they're great games.
Yep. Here's the fake.
Wow. Yeah.
Boy, they really made him look younger.
Yeah.
So Wildcard Football is a 7-on-7 arcade style game. It uses the NFLPA license, so you have current and past players, by the way.
Yeah.
Legends and stuff. And
a lot. I was kind of blown away by how many players are in this game.
What's really funny is you have 32 so the modes in the game are you can just play a regular season, like a 8-game season or whatever, and choose the players that you want, or choose a team that you want. Like Team Mahomes is clearly the Kansas City Chiefs. Team Goff is clearly my Detroit Lions because they have the players there.
Team Geno Smith is clearly the Seahawks.
Yeah. And then the names are like the names of the teams are actually team this, team that.
Team
and they
whoever the quarterback
colors
is. And it's honestly like it seems like it's all the quarterbacks, like all the main.
It's all the quarterbacks, all the actual team Baker Mayfield. They're all there, like there they are right there. And you have a lot of the players from the NFL that are in this game. So the hook is, so you can play it as sort of a season-ish type of thing with play a champion, blah, 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 with your players, or you can play the actual dream. I forget what they call the dream team mode.
Dream team.
And that's where you can collect. There's collectible cards, and that's what the playground games are kind of famous for. Is that you collect cards, gotcha packs of cards, and then you use those cards are either your players, so you can collect a whole team. I mean, it's like the EA does it with everybody does it these days. But the addition here is that you can get some aesthetic stuff, like new uniforms and movesets, that kind of thing. But you can also get like game modifiers, and so Stefan says it is sort of a deck builder, which is kind of cool. You don't have to use these at all to play, but there are some fun like modifiers that you can use. Like there's one that there's the ones that can actually make your team faster or make the other team slower or improve your catching, like the actual sort of sports-ish realistic ones. But then there are stuff like, I'm gonna hit this play again back here.
Yeah.
Then there's stuff like it throws mud, like pools of oil and mud slicks on the field, or it'll put the bouncers from what do they call them?
Pinball, like those pinball bouncers.
The pinball bouncer like that you saw there. And those are really cool because it really does modify the game. And the goal is to keep playing, as every time you gain a level, you get a new pack of cards and you can hopefully get something cool. And so that's the background of the game. and all that stuff is actually played online. You can't play that stuff offline. That's the online portion. So it has crossplay between platforms. As a Switch player, which was I'm reviewing it on, you're reviewing it on Steam.
Yeah.
I played against people playing it on Steam. I played against folks playing it on PlayStation and folks playing it on Xbox. I haven't played against anybody playing it on Switch, partly because I don't think it was, I may have been one of the only people that had the code for the Switch version, but crossplay is actually very cool. So you can play against anybody. There were no friends lists that I noted yet. Maybe that's, but anyways, that's the whole background of the game, arcadey style.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts, JJ, what you think.
In terms of just outright playing a football game, it's just incredibly fun. It's like it's not asking a lot out of you. In terms of the stuff, like you can really just kind of pick up and choose, like, oh, do I just want to run or do I want to pass? Like there's certain
oil slicks there.
Yeah, like the passing game's kind of weak. In this game, but like the running game's really fun.
No, that's funny because for me it was the opposite. I actually liked passing better, but I loved the defense. Like I usually hate playing defense, and I want to play.
Oh, they make the
defense pretty fun.
Like the one thing that I noticed, the one thing I noticed immediately was on kickoff returns for the other team. Like when you're running towards them, like in Madden, it's kind of a pain in the ass to know what's going on, because the camera's not on your side. So and it still isn't here, but like it's way more forgiving because it's an action-oriented game. So like I actually feel like I'm controlling the entire team when we're barreling down on the receiving team or whatever.
It helps that there's only 7 players, so you can switch back and forth very quickly. I
like the way the juke works in this, where it's just like
it's just very
crazy. Because it's just like a crazy ninja run. It's like it's like you're playing Metal Gear Revengeance, where you just like hold down the juke button and you're going to be doing sick flips all over the place and shit. Yeah,
cool.
It's cool. I like it a lot.
Now, so I'm playing it on Switch, and I know for me when I'm in docked mode and undocked mode, I've been playing it handheld more, only because it's been easier for me.
Yeah.
The visuals aren't super they're nothing to go crazy with. I think even in like the regular version, they're not amazing. But
I was gonna say, even on my like gaming setup, it's okay. It's fine. It kind of has that Vaseline look on everything.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Yeah. So
everything has a little bit of a sheen to it.
Yeah, but, and in some ways just to hide the fact that there's like I do appreciate that I do appreciate that the kind of cartoony characters do look like who they're supposed to look like.
I was really surprised about that too.
Because like you kind of expect when they do this, it's like they're gonna look like Funko Pops, but like you can tell from that screen that just played that was Russell Wilson without knowing that was Russell Wilson. Like the characters look like who they're even the minor characters.
Even the players that are like linebackers and stuff look exactly like who they're supposed to look like.
Dan Marino, I don't know.
I saw your photo of Dan Marino. I'll have to put it in the
he doesn't precisely look too much like Dan Marino, but I think that just comes with making graphics off of old photos. You get it a lot with wrestling stuff too, where it's it's harder to get accurate looks of older wrestlers because you can't scan them and nobody has updated 3D files for these people. So it's just like, well, you have to have an artist create this off of a photo that was taken 30 years ago.
But they do a good job with the likenesses. I'm a stickler for like the ambiance of the game. So I will say this: the stadiums are actually kind of cool because they have stadiums around the world, and they have like stadiums in you have Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, blah, blah. But then you also have like a festival. You'll have like
the gimmicks. I think the gimmick stadiums are more fun in this. Like
exactly. The only issue is that there's not a lot going on crowd wise in these stadiums. Like they do feel a little on the empty side. Like typically, like you can see they're just like people standing on the sideline watching professional athletes play, which is like, I would have expected a little more stuff happening. I would have liked to see a few more bombastic, like things happening, like the Street Fighter-esque stuff happening in the background, like just some crazy, things that you're going to want to point out, but you don't really have that here. It really is just kind of focusing on the playing field, but controls really well. You said the juke stick was good.
I like that.
I totally agree with you. I've never, the reason I like playing defense is I've already had like 2 interceptions that I returned for touchdowns because it's easy to intercept. You literally just hit the Y button in this case.
Yeah.
You hit the jump button to jump and intercept the pass. And if you're positioned correctly, you're gone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Everything's because as easy it is to intercept, it's just as easy for you to get intercepted on.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's one of those things where it's like, you're never really, it's Mario Kart. Like, you're never really screwing somebody over too hard because it's just around the corner of having you getting completely fucked over, especially with the, especially with some of the cards. Some of the cards are brutal, man.
They are.
Because there's some cards that negatively affect just your stats that make you like super slow. And you're just like,
or specific players super slow, like your quarterback will be slow or you're running. So, and it's usually, so you get to select one or two cards. Essentially, the way it works out is that there's points. I don't know if they'll show it on here, but
there's basically a special meter that's building up.
Yeah, you get like 10. I think there's like 10 points, and then that goes down if you select specific cards. Like some cards will be has 1, 2, 3 value, but
the more detrimental on the outcome the card has, the more of your energy it'll use.
Yep. And then those replenish little by little during the downs or when things happen.
If you blast through them at the beginning of the game, it's an uphill battle to sort of earn that stuff
Especially if they haven't used theirs early on. I recommend not doing anything early on, letting it go.
and they have a card that lets you steal their energy, which is really nice. So you can really just sort of manipulate that stuff. Like, if they did use all their stuff, you can sort of bank those energy cards, and every time they start building it back up, you can yank it away.
Want to compete in online multiplayer with full crossplay? Have at it. Or take on your friend in local multiplayer, where we know the true competition comes out. Ready to take on a challenge? Build your dream squad? Choose from hundreds of pro players and assemble the ultimate 7-on-7 gridiron team? Advance through different challenges and events to unlock new players and other exciting rewards. As you rank up, you'll get new player cards.
I'm just going to speak.
Oh, no, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
It is me. It's me.
Okay.
I was saying, now I know where to cut. I really enjoy the card aspect of this because it does add, it makes an arcade style game be that much more interesting. But that much more arcade. And it makes me want to collect more cards, which I don't really like to do in a lot of these games, but and you can set up your card packs and get rid of cards.
And I think that's sort of the thing is that the cards aren't really difficult to understand or use. It's not like you have to worry about status effects and things. Like the cards are really just relegated to a single button push, and you push the button if you want to use it or not before you pick your play, and that's just sort of it. And I don't know what this game's going to do in the long run. I until we got the codes for this, I had never heard of this game.
Oh, really? So I previewed it at Game Fest because that's when they told me about it. They're like, hey, you want to check out this thing? Yeah, it's an arcade game from the Playground Sports guys. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
But it's great. It's genuinely like well put together. It plays really well. You are not getting the same thing out of this as you are Madden or even Blitz. From back in the day, but it's a completely different type of NFL experience or football experience. But...
Now, I think so. I brought up the AEW game earlier, Fight Forever, because that's also sort of an arcadey thing here, and this has a lot of the retro arcade feel of like NFL Blitz or whatever, and Full Street, but it's sort of lacking on like a little bit of content. Like there's the offline content is like an exhibition mode, like a quick game or a season, and that's it. And you can't change rosters, can't do anything. Then the other aspect, the Dream Team stuff, where you actually can collect and do all this kind of thing, is great. You can customize individual characters.
Yeah, it's
can
their version of
modify
Madden
their
Ultimate Team.
yeah, it is. But you can actually have individual like
Yeah.
jersey styles and helmets, and that
And you
kind of
get some
stuff is all cool.
crazy shit too.
Yeah,
I kind of wish the game had more individual personality. Like it's cool, but like everyone's kind of exactly the same in it. Like there's no like like I kind of wish the quarterbacks had their own unique personality to them or something.
So
but
I think that's basically what it is. It's just it's like just missing a little bit of that personality.
I will
say
stuff.
I will
say one of the this game made me laugh out loud at one particular thing. It's where we did like a quarterback sack, but we like double teamed the quarterback, but we like picked him up, laid him down and put his head on the football, and like he's just like we were putting him to sleep, like he was resting it on a bed. It made me laugh. It was very funny. That's a good bit.
It is. I think one thing that was really funny to me, and it's happened a couple times, is that sometimes the game doesn't realize that something bad happened, like to your player, and your player will do the wrong, or the team will do the wrong celebration. Like I had a fumble that the other team, was it a fumble or no? It was a safety. I had a safety pulled against me. So I get a safety pulled against me. My guy goes into the end zone and he falls, whatever. My quarterback gets knocked down and he gets up. And the celebration is my quarterback going, yeah, I got 2 points. And we got 2 points for the wrong team. It's like, it kind of has a little bit of those issues every once in a while. But I mean, those weird little things aside, I'm enjoying it. I'm actually surprised at how much I'm enjoying it.
I would absolutely, if a friend who I knew was a football player, was a football fan, wanted a game suggestion, I would absolutely suggest this game for them, because it's fun enough. I think
I wish the only thing I wish is that that there was a full unlocked mode where you can just go crazy and set up your team and go bonkers, because then I could play against a friend and be like, hey, I got Patrick Mahomes and I got this running back and I got this guy, and I just set up my team for fun and all my cool bonker stuff.
And
I wish there was a mode like that.
And and it's a little tricky too, because listen, how the sausage is made. When we get the review codes, we get the like deluxe editions of these usually, and so we get all this shit unlocked like out the gate, and I realize now that a lot of my friends aren't going to be able to dress Dan Marino up as a samurai out the gate. They're going to have to grind for that.
Wait, was yours the unlocked edition, the deluxe edition?
Yeah, I got.
Mine wasn't. Not on the Switch. Nope, I did not have that on the Switch. So there's a difference in these reviews. But no, yes, I agree. The on the Switch I think is great. So the reason I chose
I want to answer Stefan right now. No, this is not the new Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl, despite its simplicity, was still kind of a sim game.
Yeah.
So you kind of really had to, like, despite like it just being like, and if you take things like Bo Jackson out of the equation, that was, or whatever,
right?
You still kind of had to play football by the rules of football, in Tecmo Bowl, especially Super Tecmo Bowl and stuff. So,
and you care about stats in Tecmo Bowl. In this game, you don't care about stats at all. You're just caring about scoring and winning.
Every team is like in just the bare bones version, the non-dream team stuff. Like, there are no stats. Every team is even. So, Tecmo Bowl was definitely an early attempt at being a sim. This has no pretense of trying to.
And they're totally happy
there's hardly any. It's like, you're not going to get offsides or whatever in this fucking game. It's just, they won't let you. So
I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, I just wish there was a friends list, because that would be fun for me. And then I wish there was a mode that just lets you unlock everything and just to goof around, because those things are always kind of fun at getting people into, or unlock most of the stuff. Maybe some things are still, obviously you have to work through those, but this
has all the trappings of a game that feels like at one point they were just going to charge you for all this stuff, and then they kind of pared it back to be a little more realistic. So
it's good. It's not going to wow a ton of people, but guess what? It's the best football game on the Switch, because it's really the the only one that has like real NFL players.
Yeah,
Anyways. It functions. It functions. I will say it functions really well on the Switch. I didn't really notice any bugs. Like I said, the only issue is just sort of the Vaseline screen stuff. But
it
works really well. Yeah,
it plays as well and is about as fully featured as the Madden PC releases, anyways. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And it's got Colin Kaepernick in it. So
it's got Colin Kaepernick, who apparently was there when they were doing the previews for this game. I did not see him and didn't get a chance to. I wanted to, which I like the dude, actually. He's actually a really good player. But anyways, there you go. Wild Card Football.
Great game.
You're playing it on Steam. I'm playing it on Switch, and it's good for both. And we can